A lot of excitement coming into the 2013 season for both squads, for us here. On the men's side, we're welcoming 8 freshmen to the squad, and so with a big freshman class, that brings a lot of excitement. Our guys finished 3rd in the conference last year, and I expect us to be competitive again with some of the top teams in the conference, as is one of our goals every season. For the women's team, we also have a large freshman class this year, 8 women as well, and so a lot of youth on the team and a lot of excitement, and the freshmen have already been getting after it quite a bit in our fall training to date. We returned a team that placed 3rd at the Centennial Conference meet last year, and so similarly, just like the guys, we're looking to hold that spot or improve, and I expect us to be pretty competitive in the conference. On the men's team, some of our key returners, starting with the senior class, we have John Zip, who is now a 4-time school record holder between individual events and relays, and he really had a breakout year last year as a junior. Finished in the top 5 in his best events in the conference and earned an NCAA B cut, and the goal this year for him is going to be to try to get to the NCAA championship meet in March. Also in the senior class, we have Tim Landon, who's a co-captain and is a former conference champion in the 1650 freestyle. He'll again be one of the top distance swimmers in the conference. I look for him to do quite well on both the 500 and 1650 on the freestyle side of things, and then also in the 400 IM. It's his 3rd event. Rich finished 4th in both butterfly events last year as a sophomore at the championships, and we look for him to improve upon those places and close in on a couple school records, I think, as a junior this year. And then in the sophomore class, we have Patrick Greeny, who last year as a freshman came in his first year at F&M and placed as a finalist in both breaststroke events and really helped the team out quite a bit, and he's also looking pretty good this fall. On the women's side, we have junior Katie Grant, who did very well for us last year and won the 1650 at the conference level, and then moved on and swam both the 500 and 1650 at NCAAs and was an All-American in both of those events. Look for her to have another strong year, and she is looking stronger this year than she was last year, so the goals and aspirations for her are going to be pretty high. Also on the women's side, we have senior Alexia Tomlinson, who last year as a junior made the transition into our distance group and did quite well, which is an understatement. She placed 4th in the 1650 in the distance event at the conference championship. And so this year she's coming into her own as a distance swimmer. I think she's going to do quite well. Maggie Johns also is a senior, and she placed 2nd in the 400 IM at the conference meet last year, and then did very well in the 200 fly and the 500 freestyle as well as a finalist in both of those events. And we look for her to do quite well as a senior. In the sophomore class, we have Courtney Collins, who coming back for her 2nd campaign here at F&M. She did very well as a freshman. She was a finalist in all of her individual events, and she placed 3rd in both the 100 back and 100 fly. It's always difficult to replace the senior class because of the leadership and the experience that they had. A couple of our leaders last year, we graduated 5 guys. 2 of them were school record holders. Zach Wilt and Jake Reingold were both school record holders in relay events. And so what we're looking for this year is for some of the freshmen, sophomore, juniors from last year to step up and to continue to progress. We graduated quite a big class last year with 9 seniors who graduated this past May. We do have 8 freshman girls who are here, and so we do have a large class to replace them numbers-wise. Some of the key losses for us last year were Krista Hollingsworth, who graduated as one of the top freestylers in the conference and is a school record holder in one of the relays for us, as well as Casey Christensen, who is a co-captain along with Krista, and Becca City, who was our top breaststroker from last year. Again, we're looking for some of the underclassmen from last year to step up and to fill some of those roles through their progression and as they improve through the course of their year. And then we do have freshmen in each of those areas of concentration who will fill in and take on some of those roles. We have 8 freshmen, which is great, and they're pretty diverse as a group as far as where they come from and as far as the events that they swim to, which is going to be a great help for us depth-wise on the guys' team this year. Two of the top freshmen for us are both backstrokers, which is an area where we need to improve our depth. Last year, they're coming in this year faster than where our top backstrokers were last year. So I expect both Jack Curry and Andreas Ferrari to make some pretty big improvements for us in that department this year. And then we have several guys who are going to do a lot in, I think, sprint, mid-distance, and distance freestyle. On the women's side, we have 8 freshmen this year. So that roughly replaces the number of seniors that we graduated in the spring. A lot of talent within the freshman class for the women this year. I think chief among them is freshman Jillian Albus, who comes to us as one of the top sprinters and butterflyers in the conference already as a freshman. She comes in with a 50 freestyle time that's faster than what the conference champion was last year. So we're expecting some pretty good things from her. And she's also faster than our school record is currently too. So again, pretty good things from her. Preseason training has been going very well, I think, for both squads thus far. Early season is always a little difficult as we're ramping things up and people are adjusting to the new workload of the season, but it's going very well. We're at a point in the Centennial Conference now where every single team has at least some good swimmers who can challenge our top swimmers on any given day. And so whether we're heading into a meet that's going to be a close outcome team-wise or a meet that has some stiff individual competition, there are always things to get up for. We're going to be starting off with Johns Hopkins as an out-of-conference foe for us in swimming to start the season, and that's going to be some of the stiffest competition we face all season, with both of those squads being top 10 programs nationally. And so every single meet, in conference, out of conference, will be a challenge for us, I think. Expectations are pretty high. I think the overall training level this year has been higher than it has been in the last 2 years for the team as a whole. And so that really sets the tone quite well. And what we're really looking for the team is to try to overachieve every single day. If you overachieve every single day, if you're paying attention to the details and the technical side of things, then that's going to carry over into your races and to the meets on the weekends. And so far, we're doing a really good job with that.